Today on Vox, we have information on the word of the year, Cyber Monday, and more. Taylor Lawson will have your local weather, and Aaron Carroll will have your sports.
It's Tuesday, November 27th, 2018. You're watching Vox News Today.
Please stand for the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Mary Beth Mangrum.
And I'm Jay Standridge.
David Earl Miller, a Tennessee inmate set to be put to death next week, has requested the electric chair, making him the second inmate this year to make that decision. Tennessee's preferred method of execution is lethal injection. Lawyers for Miller claim that the midazolam-based 3-drug injection puts inmates through excruciating pain. Miller became the second death row inmate in Tennessee to request electrocution since Edmund Zagorski, who was put to death in the state's electric chair on November 1st. Prisoners whose crimes occurred before 1999 have the option to choose electrocution. Miller, 61, is scheduled to die on December 6th for the 1981 slaying of 23-year-old Lee Standifer in Knoxville.
On Monday, many shoppers are turning to the keyboard rather than the crowds. The Chattanooga Rock Creek warehouse is cranking out more than 1,000 online orders a day between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. According to the National Retail Federation, 37% of shoppers plan to do all their holiday shopping online. 16% plan to stick to the stores.
The Georgia man accused of killing his former teacher makes an appearance in court. Tara Grinstead disappeared in October 2005, but the GBI didn't make an arrest until 2017. As Tony Thomas reports, there are still a lot of issues that need to be ironed out before Ryan Duke's trial moves forward.
It's just like saying the whole time, guilty, guilty, guilty. I think he's guilty. I think he's guilty. It's the same prejudice as saying, I think a murder happened. I think a murder happened.
Metro Atlanta lawyer Ashley Merchant insists her client, Ryan Duke, would not get a fair trial if prosecutors were allowed to repeatedly mention the word murder during any trial. Duke's accused of murdering his former teacher, Tara Grinstead, in 2005, then burning her body in a pecan field.
To prohibit our use of the term murder also prohibits us from being able to adequately represent the interest of the victim in this case.
Defendant Duke looked very different as he sat in court Monday than the last time anyone saw him in public. The new look of Duke sat quietly as lawyers also discussed where any trial should be held. The judge is yet to decide on any change of venue. The judge must also still rule on whether the indictment is too vague and who must pay if the defense team hires an investigator.
Anything you'd like to say, Ryan?
Duke's defense team did drop efforts to fight any alleged confessions he may have made to police, and there might have been a lengthy one.
He was not read Miranda at the beginning of the interview. About 5 minutes into the interview, after there are some inculpatory statements made, the agent stops and then reads Miranda to him, and it goes on about an hour and a half after that.
On Sunday, the U.S. deployed tear gas into Mexico due to potentially violent migrant situation at the border of Tijuana, Mexico. Mayor Manuel Gastelum tells CNN's Flora Charner about what he feels the federal and international governments can do for Tijuana's situation.
Now with the caravan, we know that a lot of them have taken up shelter at the Benito Juarez Sports Complex. What do you think the next steps are with the caravan? And I know that we're also expecting more migrants to come. What do you think the next steps are for the Mexican government and for you as the mayor of Tijuana with the next wave of migrants who are scheduled to come?
Well, if the federal government is not able to deal with this problem, which definitely the municipality of Tijuana, we are not capable of solving or enduring this situation, the federal government must do its job, and that is give us shelter, give them food, water, medicines, everything that a person needs to be dignified and have a place where they can stay dignified, okay? So I need for that, I need the federal government to take over the situation. And if the federal government is not capable of doing it, well, go to the UNO, United Nations Organization, where established that they can help out. It's called humanitarian assistance. We need that. What's wrong if our federal government cannot deal with this problem and they cannot help us out? It's a must. This is a matter of humanity. This is a matter of being good to your countrymen, to your fellowship. I mean, this is a matter of that they have to help us solve. There's no plan B or plan C. The only plan that exists is they have to do what, according to the law, they have to do. So come on, give us a break. Let's do what we have to do within the margin of our responsibilities, and the federal government must take over.
Mexico is taking action in response to the migrant crisis at the border after U.S. Border Patrol agents fired tear gas at hundreds of migrants attempting to cross the border. All this as the Trump administration stands by its use of tear gas. Camila Bernal is live near the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego County with more on the unrest.
It's a peaceful morning here on the U.S. side of the border. Behind me, the port of entry. That is where the migrants get processed one by one. The issue is that immigration authorities do not have the capability of processing thousands of them at a time, which is why the migrants have to stay on the Mexican side of the border. Over the weekend, some of them choosing not to do that and then causing chaos in this entire area.
Vean el panorama. Los federales.
Demanding an investigation. Mexico's foreign ministry is asking the U.S. to investigate the incidents that led to this.
Wow!
On Sunday, U.S. Border Patrol agents fired tear gas at hundreds of migrants attempting to cross the border. A cloud of tear gas sending people running and screaming, including families with young children.
To be completely frank, there were numerous people that actually made it across the border.
What started as a peaceful march escalated into chaos when protesters split off into several directions. Border Patrol defending its actions, saying some migrants threw rocks at the agents, forcing them to respond with force to protect themselves.
Once our agents were assaulted and the numbers started growing, we had 2 or 3 agents at a time initially facing hundreds of people at a time.
Meanwhile, President Trump addressing the situation.
Here's the bottom line. Nobody's coming into our country unless they come in legally.
The Mexican government says 98 migrants will be deported following Sunday's incident, and it's unclear what's next for those still seeking asylum in the U.S.
There's a lot of people out here that wanted a better life and they're here. Why not them?
Now, right now, those migrants are essentially camping out in a sports complex on the Mexican side of the border. The problem is long-term. The mayor of Tijuana saying that he does not have the resources to support them, and he says he does not want to spend taxpayer dollars on the migrants. Reporting in San Ysidro, I'm Camila Bernal.
There's no misinformation about this. That's dictionary.com's word of the year. The word misinformation has been used around for centuries, but it made a major comeback in 2018. That's due to the large amount of fake information that's made its way to the internet this year. Dictionary.com stresses misinformation is not the same as disinformation. The annual word of the year is done to shine a light on the most searched or used word. The runner-up words of the year were representation, self-made, and backlash. On a related note, Oxford Dictionaries picked toxic as its word of the year earlier this month.
Today in entertainment news, a movie that's doing very well, one that's really not, and an actor who's making it big in music. Here's David Daniel with a Hollywood Minute.
One thing keeps him in power: the money. We steal it.
Not so much. Robin Hood, which had a reported production budget of just under $100 million, took in just $14.3 million domestically in its opening weekend. According to The Wrap, that's the worst debut for any movie this year with a budget of $90 million or more. Now that's a bomb.
We are in the internet.
Ralph Breaks the Internet is flying high, but writer-directors Rich Moore and Phil Johnston were wary of internet fads, hoping to create a snapshot of the web in 2018 and something timeless.
It's, I think, a pretty accurate portrayal of the way the internet feels right now.
And cat videos were pretty safe.
I think,
yeah, I think
cats and babies are forever,
eternal.
man.
Yes, that's Jeff Goldblum tickling the ivories. The actor and longtime musician has released his first album with his Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, and it's a chart topper. Billboard reports the Capitol Studios session sold 3,000 copies in its first week, making it #1 on the jazz albums and traditional jazz albums charts. Pretty smooth. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now let's send it over to Taylor with your weather report.
After this break, I'll have information on Elliott City, your 7-day forecast, and more.
Our new hot, fresh breakfast will get you the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, be the readiest.
Mom, when is Daddy coming home?
Daddy misses us too, honey.
He called her on the road.
Hi, honey.
From a lonely, cold hotel room, just to hear her say, I love you one more time. Little voice came on the phone and said, Daddy, when you come home. He said the first thing that came to his mind,
I'm already there.
I'm already there. Take a look around. I'm the sunshine in your hair. I'm the shadow on the ground. I'm the whisper in the wind. I'm your imaginary friend. And I know I'm in your prayers. Oh, I'm already there.
Hey, buddy. Being there. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
Welcome back, Bradley Central. Rain and snow are impacting much of the Midwest and Northeast. The weather is slowing down the process of rebuilding in Ellicott City, Maryland. This city was hit with a flood in summer of 2016 that some say should only happen once in 1,000 years. But they faced yet another 1,000-year flood in May. John Gonzalez tells how that city is recovering.
Small Business Saturday was bittersweet this past weekend. Some businesses still unable to reopen or have refused to.
Just have faith. You know, you got to, life always sets you back, and you always got to bounce back from that.
Today, here in Ellicott City, a stream restoration project is scheduled to start. The mitigation work will try to restore and stabilize a portion of the Little Patuxent River.
We are working with a client that had a flood or two. Water was up to here.
In the meantime, a number of property owners are still waiting to see what to do next.
1,000-year storms hit here essentially back to back, and now you have storefronts like this one right here on Main Street. They look festive with the snowman and Christmas trees, but the reality is that building is gutted.
Unfortunately, I think it's kind of uphill that needs to get taken care of too, so we can divert some of this rain. So it's drizzling right now. It makes me think, oh gosh, if it starts pouring, we're going to have to get out of here.
13 buildings were set to be purchased and demolished under a flood control plan put forth by outgoing County Executive Alan Kittleman, but he lost re-election. And soon-to-be County Executive Calvin Ball has stated that he doesn't like the idea of demolishing historic structures.
Demolishing can be the last resort, but I feel like we can go to other places before we do that.
All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Today it'll be partly cloudy outside with a high of 36 and a low of 23. Tomorrow it'll be partly cloudy outside as well with a high of 43 and a low of 30. On Thursday it'll be rainy outside with a high of 48 and a low of 44. And on Friday into the weekend it'll be rainy as well with highs of 56, 62, and 59 and lows of 50, 52, 46, and 47. That's all from me. Now let's send it over to Aaron with your scores from last night.
NBA scores, a point of the day with slamming results and more after this break.
Come on, man.
Just do it quick. No one's watching. You have to if you want to hang with us.
The other one, too.
Good job. Do the right thing. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Your wallet's empty, and you've got bills to pay. What do?
Stop worrying.
Get the cash you need today at Check Into Cash.
We offer payday advances, auto title loans, and lots of ways to put the cash you need in your pocket today.
And we make it quick, easy, and confidential.
So stop worrying and stop in to Check Into Cash today.
Visit checkintocash.com for the store near you.
Smoking as a teen can permanently stunt your lungs, taking the air out of even the biggest and baddest.
Now let's take a look at your NBA scores. The Magic lost to the Warriors. The Bucks lost to the Hornets. Hornets coming on top with only 3 points. The Timberwolves versus the Cavs. Timberwolves came up on top. The Spurs versus the Bills. The Spurs only coming up on top with only 1 point. And for a highlighted game, the Rockets versus the Wizards, 130 to 135. Here are the highlights.
I mean, he's comfortable with two people. He felt like Wall wasn't even there.
Their point, not having Paul obviously makes it a little harder, but they do have that man right there.
This is a tough cover, though. Woo-wee. Let me tell you something. 50. And nothing you can.
pays off. Well, you see, GA, if we could put a lot of pressure on your D.
5 seconds.
Bradley Beal playing great defense against James Harden, loading the paint, forcing him for the turnover.
And you saw Otto Porter, just great job of helping recover. The Wizards able to get a big win as they continue to try to right their ship. And the Rockets, disappointing loss. But I tell you what, when you're a championship caliber team, if I'm going to lose, this is how I want to lose.
Yes.
You know, have a chance to win the game on the road against the.
Now for your player of the day. Pat C from the Bucks goes up and gets a Chris Middleton miss and slams it home with his offhand for the putback dunk. Take a few more looks as he gets some serious air on this putback for our player of the day.
He's a right-hand player with the left hand. That has to be a highlight in his young career.
In his draft class 4 years ago at the Combine in Chicago, he had the highest recorded vertical jump in his draft class. So he's a guy who can touch the top of the back.
That's all from me. Now let's take a look at your school announcements after this break.
One thing to love about the Tennessee Valley is Bradley Central Show Choir, Vocal Motion. The other thing to love is the local Geico office on Lee Highway.
You could save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. But how do you know? Unless you call 894-2600.
Got a car? Got a boat? Got a home?
Get a quote.
Swimming brought me back to life from a very, very dark place. It was a very difficult moment to realize I wasn't going to walk home that night. I think it was after that first week that I started fighting. As crazy as it may sound, I'm thankful for that day. I learned a lot about how to love myself again. And I think that's what it's about. It's about not only the moments, but how we react to them and where we choose to go from that point. To me, resiliency is that will to never give up, to never give in, and to always keep fighting the fight.
Life happens. Whether it's car trouble, medical bills, or other expenses, Check Into Cash has a new flexible loan solution. Introducing the Flex Loan. The Flex Loan is an open line of credit. You control how much you borrow with flexible payment options. If you need a payday advance, we offer those too, because true flexibility is the ability to choose. For life's little emergencies, we're your one-stop money shop.
Our new hot, fresh breakfast will get you the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, be the readiest.
What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, cause it is. Let's go, let's go!
touched it. I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that. You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game.
Talk to him, Coach.
I touched it. It's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go on, Alex. Sorry, Coach.
Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red.
What are we looking at? Formaldehyde, acrolein, nitrobenzene. This actually has over 7,000 chemicals. Don't get me started on what they do to you. Prematurely wrinkled skin, stunted lung growth.
Mr. Essler.
Tooth loss, cancer.
Mr. Essler.
Hang on.
If cigarettes looked as dangerous as they are, you'd run like hell. Find out the real cost of tobacco.
Welcome back, Bradley Central. Let's take a look at our school announcements.
Testing begins today with U.S. History Part 1. Tomorrow, English 9 and 10 Part 1 will follow. And finally, U.S. History Part 2 will conclude on Thursday. Good luck to those who will be testing.
Today's national holiday is Giving Tuesday, a day where most Black Friday shoppers wait in line to return things that they bought after Thanksgiving.
So Black Friday and Cyber Monday were this past week. Did you guys get any killer deals?
I didn't go out on Friday, but on Saturday I did get some new pants.
Pants are always needed.
$10, you know?
Yeah, I actually got some Christmas shopping done with my mom. We got a few good deals, but you know, the websites we went to, it was nothing extreme.
What about you, Aaron?
But you know what someone once told me? All Fridays matter. But you know what? I stay home either way, so.
Yeah, I got a few Christmas presents too, so.
All right, well, we are online on YouTube at BCHS VOX News.
You can also check us out on Facebook, WTMB, and of course at VoxNews.net.
You just can't get enough of Vox.
That's all we have for you today, Bradley Central.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears.